Captain on the bridge.
All right, Captain's red alert. All right, Captains, we are back on the bridge, and today, as I mentioned on the last Strange New Worlds kind of promo character trailer, I was gonna wait kind of the whole day to see how many they released, and I'm glad that they did because they released actually the doctor and the nurse, so it kind of worked out well. So what we're gonna do, go over both the character trailers and then go over both again by dropping my two ECs on my thoughts. Oh my gosh. Woo! Let's go, Caps, on screen. Here we go.
What is this noxious paste you're applying to our skulls?
Ground search. Trust me, this will become Federation standard. Eventually. I am Chief Medical Officer on the flagship of Starfleet. Prejudice has kept people from helping each other for centuries.
Doctor!
Disease and suffering good. We're things of the past. I am a physician. There must be another way.
Oof. Okay, that was Dr. Mabenga? Mabenga. Here we have Nurse Chapel. Let's check this out. Oh, it'd help if I unmuted the tab, huh? One more time, with feeling.
This is Nurse Chapel.
Welcome to Enterprise. Sounds like you're just the person for the job.
What job?
I'm gonna mess with your genome.
Is it safe?
Almost every time.
I thought you might need to discuss your feelings. I feel I should have seen that coming.
It's good to get mad sometimes.
I applaud your performance.
Don't thank me. I know I'm good at my job.
Interesting. All right, we're gonna go over the first one here. So Dr. Mabenga. I'm not, again, I mentioned this, Captains, before when it came to the original series. I'm not too familiar with the crew other than obviously the main crew. So forgive me, but I'm kind of looking this at a new set of eyes, in a sense where I know this is TOS, obviously before the crew that we know it. So this is something that I'm trying to look at sort of outside that looking in. So here's Dr. Mabenga. I loved the tone of his voice. There was something he said here that something about centuries of, go here again.
What is this noxious paste you're applying to our skulls?
Ground search. Trust me, this will become Federation standard. Eventually.
Okay. Okay. Eventually. So literally testing on the crew to see if it's gonna work, and if it works, then yeah, sure. But there's a trust in his voice. I don't know. It's like I immediately trust him, and it could be that I did actually have a doctor that sounded like him when I was very young in the city that I was born. So maybe that's why. Coincidence? I don't know.
I am Chief Medical Officer on the flagship of Starfleet.
Again, I love how they're totally giving the Enterprise some screen time in all of these trailers. I love it.
Prejudice has kept people from helping each other for...
Okay, there's that. Prejudice have kept people from helping each other. And let me talk about this point. This is why I love Star Trek, okay? Because it was about bringing down all those barriers, all those walls, and trying to move forward. And that's kind of where I think I get some of my positivity from, and where I try to get that moving forward attitude is from Star Trek.
centuries.
Doctor!
Disease and suffering.
Now, disease and suffering, jeez. What? The timing of this. When I see this, so my wife, the Admiral, works at a hospital. This almost reminds me of one of the rooms there. But I also feel like this has some sort of JJ Trek feel to it. It's all the white lights there, and there's no lens flare necessarily, but it's very clean and kind of sort of what you want from your medical facility.
Good. Things
Another shot of
past.
him. So there's another shot of sort of the more of the instruments that they're using at the time there. Pretty cool. Again, very white, very clean looking set that they have going on.
I am a physician.
Again, I love it when I hear the tone, I hear the trust. I'm in for him. I'm in for Dr. Mbanga.
There must be
Mbanga?
another way.
And let's go back here to Nurse Chapel.
This
The
is Nurse Chapel.
Enterprise.
Welcome to Enterprise.
So I've heard of Nurse Chapel before. I've heard the name. Not too familiar with the character again. I don't know who this actress is, nor do I know who the actor is for Dr. Mbanga. But with her, I'm getting the vibes of a little more sass again. We've had sass already from Ortegas, and it seems like we're going to have some sass here. And it's going to show some feisty, some fight in this Nurse Chapel here. I like it. She's cute. What? Don't tell the Admiral.
Sounds like you're just the person for the job.
What job?
I'm gonna mess with your genome.
Is it safe?
Almost every
Oof, that wink.
time.
Going up to Jeffrey's suit. That's where I took the thumbnail picture there, Caps.
I thought you might need to discuss your feelings.
Okay. So I mentioned in the Uhura trailer that in the Kelvin timeline movies, Spock and Uhura had a relationship. Is this alluding that Spock and Chapel is going to have a relationship? Like this scene, okay, so something about Tom Mori feelings.
Discuss your feelings.
And what are they doing here? Having dinner? And he's getting smacked. The smack and the reaction. You gotta watch that again. Hold on. The whole sequence. Hold on.
To discuss your feelings.
Does that remind you something that happens, Captains, here in the last couple of days? Too soon? Okay, gotcha.
I feel I should have seen that coming.
It's good to get back.
Looks like that was a reshot there of the Enterprise getting shot at. Not really showing, but I love the action sequences of the Enterprise. I really hope that we see a lot of these shots of the ship, because as I mentioned before in the other trailers, Captains, the Enterprise, the ships of the shows are its own character.
It's good to get back sometimes.
Who was she talking to there? That's Spock. I think there's definitely going to be something between these two. So they're totally scrapping the Uhura Spock thing. They're making these two, I think. This is just my two ECs on this one.
Sometimes.
Looks like they get into a fight here. So she's scrappy, Captains. She gets down and into the fight there.
Applaud your performance.
Don't thank me.
Yeah, there's definitely something between. Now I like the uniforms are looking really crisp. There's Spock's uniform. Nurse Chapel's, I do like her uniform as well. Again, nice and clean. Medical insignia there on her badge.
Don't thank me. I know I'm good at my job.
Interesting. So there you go, Captains. There's the two. We have Nurse Chapel and, of course, Dr. Mbanga. Mbanga, I'm so sorry. Just if I'm saying that wrong, Captains, just let me know. I love how they actually grew. It's funny how, again, I waited for this, and both the doctor and the nurse are back to back. It seems like when it comes to Dr. Mbanga, they're going to. Obviously, he's no Dr. McCoy, but he is setting up sort of that veteran feel, that sort of maverick in the field of trying to really push the medical there on, of course, the flagship. I love how he said that, the flagship, playing up the Enterprise there. And, of course, with Nurse Chapel, it seems like she is going to be the love interest of Spock, or there's going to be a relationship. She has a little sass in her, a little fight in her. Very confident. Not as confident as number one, but there's some confidence there, definitely. And Cap, I've said this before. I'm really excited. I'm in for this. I'm wanting to see how they perceive the story in terms of getting away possibly from always the pew pews. Don't get me wrong, Caps. I love my pew pews. I love my pew pews. But having said that, one of the things that I loved about Star Trek, especially me being a TNG baby, is some of that. And I felt that a little bit when Dr. Mbenga was talking about disease, war, and how humans were prior to this. And I really want to feel that hope. And again, I'm trying not to get too excited. I'm trying to curb it, but I'm hoping. At the end of the day, it's really going to depend on actually what is shown and how they progress the story. But I feel like the reason why they're doing all these is throughout the seasons, they're going to sort of concentrate, hopefully, on the characters, develop their background, and then, of course, when it comes into going into the TOS crew, that transition, that handoff. And hopefully it really concentrates on a lot of character building, a lot of that hope, a lot of that exploration that they were talking about. But yes, I'm definitely excited. I kept checking my YouTube all day to see which other trailer, but there's my two EC's captains. Again, I can't say enough that I'm super excited. I'm going to try to curb it, but at the end of the day, as I mentioned before, it's going to depend on how actually they all put this together, especially when they start going right before the original TOS crew. But with that said, captains, we'll leave it at that until the next video.
Live long and prosper.
Don't tell the Admiral.